Hi everybody, it's Martha Stewart in our Studio A kitchen, right here with an amazing chef, Daniel Boulud, who has just recently returned from Singapore.
Yes.
From the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, right?
Very much, yeah, absolutely.
I've been there. It's an amazing place.
It's
and what did you do there? Are you opening more restaurants?
No, I have a restaurant there for almost 4 years now, 5 years. And it's called DB Bistro, an oyster bar.
Oh, good.
And very much like in New York, on 44th Street, we have DB Bistro.
Where do the oysters come from in Singapore?
They come from Europe mostly, but America. I do a lot of American oysters, East Coast and West Coast. And they are very fresh. You know, it takes about the same time to drive from Maine or the north coast of the Atlantic to New York City with the oyster than to fly them directly to Singapore.
That's true. Almost.
They're very fresh.
Not quite. I go to Maine a lot, but Danielle is perhaps one of my top 3 favorite chefs in the entire world. When people say, "Who's your favorite chef?" you are always right there at the top.
We have done wonderful things together.
We have, but you've done wonderful things and fed us the most delicious food and taught us the most delicious recipes. And today Danielle has agreed to show our Facebook Live audience, and thank you all very much for participating. You can email us questions, and they all know how to do it, right? Okay, write it right into the comments, okay, and we'll try to answer them. And we have Marcy right here asking the questions out loud so that we don't have to be reading them.
Absolutely.
And so please ask questions as often as you would like. But today, because there's such a plethora, which means an abundance, of fresh vegetables in your garden probably, as well as in the markets, as well as in the supermarkets. There's tomatoes, zucchinis, peppers, eggplants. These are all from my garden. Everything,
I love it.
Everything in the
I love
front.
when they get a little ugly.
I don't like that so much.
No,
but,
I do.
I don't like it so much. But that's a much
This
nicer
one is a little more
Look,
perfect. But
that's good for my bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
yeah, but this one would be perfect for the ratatouille.
It would. It would. Well, you can use whatever you want. We are going to make ratatouille Danielle style. It is a vegetable stew. I've been making it. I think I learned it from Julia Child, my original ratatouille. Because when I was growing up, Julia was our queen because she was bringing us translated, good, workable French recipes.
Very much, and she was living in Provence too.
Yes, she was.
Actually, I rented a house last year in Provence. And I was right next door to La Pichoune.
Oh, where
it was in the same property. I rented the house of Simone Beck, which Simone Beck was the partner with Julia in Provence.
And Louisette Berthold.
Yeah, Berthold, yeah, absolutely.
Those were the 3 authors of Mastering the Art of French Cooking, published in 1961 in France. And those 3 really made... I guess they were really the first who really introduced us to French cuisine in America.
Very much.
In a big way.
In a big way and in a homey way as well. Because they were always bigger chefs, like, even Jacques Pépin, but that was a little bit after that.
Well, yeah, there were lots of
There were other French chefs, but more fancy
into
hotels.
the American kitchen in a good way. I cooked every single recipe before Julie in the movie.
No, Julia.
Yeah, I was the original Julie, and I take full credit for it.
I believe you.
Every single recipe in Volume 1, and then when Volume 2 came out, every single recipe in Volume 2. That's amazing. So I learned a lot, but I am so anxious to see how Daniel Boulud, who has how many restaurants now?
Well, maybe 15. Yeah, we just opened actually an épicerie. I'm wearing an épicerie Boulud.
So I love your épicerie.
Épicerie Boulud is only in New York, and it's a retail store on 64 and Broadway.
Right across from Lincoln Center. So when you go to Lincoln Center and wait in line for your tickets, then you have to go across the street and eat at.
And it's basically from breakfast to late, early evening. But
I stop in often.
Yeah, everything with sweet and pastries and
sandwich.
And morning breakfast. I mean, amazing croissant and pain au chocolat, pain au Nutella as well.
So you're already starting to cut up. So he cannot keep his hands still. And
no, I want to start cooking.
My job's the eggplant.
I was saying that we are just opening an épicerie Boulud next week at the Oculus downtown, which we heard in New York about the big opening. of the Oculus, which is the train station at the World Trade Center.
Yes.
So we're opening that again downtown. So I'm sure there'll be millions of tourists, and many of you who might watch us to go there, and they can stop for a sandwich, a salad, a pastry, a breakfast, a coffee,
now you
anything.
Don't peel the eggplant.
No, I don't peel. I think it's all flavor to me.
That big?
Yeah, exactly, like that. And I think the good thing with the ratatouille, and here I'm splitting an onion and cutting it in four, and then just everything is roughly cut. This is the recipe I do at home with my mother. This is the recipe I do for myself at home in New York. And this is the recipe I love the most. We do that also at our restaurant, the Mediterranean restaurant called Boulud Sud.
Oh yes, I
where
love that.
Boulud Sud, it's really about Provence, and it's about celebrating the Mediterranean. And so it all starts in Provence, and it goes around the Mediterranean, all the way to Turkey and Morocco, and passing by Greece and Italy, and back to Spain.
Morocco instead of Morocco. It's so much better.
Well,
oh, gosh.
that's my little
Now,
French
have you been to
accent.
France this summer?
Yes, I was just there. I was in Lyon before I went to Singapore and came back to New York. I was in my parents' home, and I made ratatouille there. So everybody have seen the movie of Ratatouille.
He was practicing for us.
Exactly. So beside the onion, I have a big onion here. So you want 1, 2 onion. And this is the kind of food you can prepare for an army. In my home in France, when we are all together around the table, we are 36 people. Between all the nephew, the niece, the brother, the sister, and all. So I'm cooking for an army there every time I cooked. And what's important is then the flavor will come from the roasting and the sweating of those vegetables. Okay. I don't peel the paper also because
which one do you roast? Like
we're gonna sweat the onion with the paper, and with also I'm gonna put a little bit of fennel just because I am in love with anise, and I'm in love with the flavor, the taste of fennel. So I put a little bit in my ratatouille, which is not totally conventional, but it's not totally unacceptable either. It's delicious.
Totally acceptable.
I actually have a question from Carla.
Yes.
She'd like to know how long will the ratatouille last once you bake it?
So it could last 6 months if you put it in the freezer.
Right.
but I think the idea is that once it's cooked,
eat it right away.
You eat it right away. It's the kind of dish.
It's good the next day though too.
Yeah, plus it's the kind of dish which is delicious when it's reheated.
Do you see the tomatoes?
So yeah, you
cut them in half, right?
Well, you are fast. Look at this. Now so I'm gonna
Someday
saute.
I'm coming to work in the restaurant. I keep threatening that.
I'm gonna saute the eggplant. I'm gonna
work.
sweat the onion here with the olive oil. So you can keep the ratatouille easily a week in a very chilled environment. You want to make sure you cool it properly. After you make it, and that's why because you are making a large quantity, what's wonderful is then all the option you have with it after once it's made. I mean, you can eat it cold and it's delicious, almost like a salad style, or you can eat it hot. So here I have the onion, so I better stop talking too much and do a little bit of work here.
No, you have to keep talking.
I like the paper also.
They know how to cook, but
in a chunky way.
To cook and cut and talk at the same time
Absolutely.
is harder.
So Alexander would like to know, should you always skin the tomatoes even if they are heirloom?
Well, I skin the tomato because I don't care about skinning the paper as much, but I do skin the tomato. Because
I do too, because otherwise you get a piece of skin.
Tomato peel will always be there, floating, bothering you.
It doesn't look pretty.
It doesn't look good. It don't taste good, really, frankly. It's different when you eat the tomato.
And if you notice, can you come in close on this tomato? I peeled the tomato that Danielle boiled for like 1 minute, right? Just to take the loose of the skin.
The
and then cut it in half crosswise, and then with your finger, just gently pull the seeds out. And all of this, by the way, do you make tomato water out of this?
Oh yeah, you can keep the water. Yeah, you can filter the water. I don't think you want to put the seed because...
No, you put this in a piece of cheesecloth and you have tomato water to drink. It's like fresh tomato juice. It's so good.
Or you can even put it in your ratatouille or drink it. It's true, with a little bit of
vodka
on a Sunday morning before brunch. It's a good way to start your day.
I love tomato water.
So David wants to know, he always adds jalapeno to his ratatouille. Is spicy ratatouille still a proper?
Of
Oh,
course.
sure.
And I don't have jalapeno, but I have hot pepper flakes. And to me, hot pepper flakes does a very, very good job in the ratatouille. I always like mine slightly
And, I like
spicy.
it better than jalapeno in it.
Yes, it
It's not
works better.
Jalapeno sometimes gets a little acrid.
Totally. And
Yeah.
But again, you have to be careful because ratatouille is the kind of food even children will love because maybe the movie and the fact that they can relate to the name. And so it's important not to make it too spicy because you want to feed the whole family. But if everybody loves their spice, then,
Did you like the movie Ratatouille?
I loved it. I
Oh,
think
good.
it was such an inspiring movie for people who love, chef food. It was just fun. So I have the fennel and I have the fennel here. I'm going to cut in pieces, but I have the onion and the peppers sweating together because this requires to just sweat down gently and look how beautiful it is. It's already a rainbow.
Already, yeah, it's really pretty. Oh. And
And
the
then-
eggplant's cooking nicely, so
Yes.
don't skimp on the olive oil.
Yes, for the eggplant, you don't want to fry them, but you want to have enough olive oil and they
Sort of soak into the.
roast
Yeah.
well, yeah.
So Wilson would like to know, what other unconventional vegetables would you recommend using?
I think I would stick to that and nothing else.
Don't add other things like beets. Don't add beets, please.
Yeah, and don't try to put ginger in your ratatouille
Right.
because you think it's
Yeah.
maybe interesting.
Right. Not interesting. Not tasty. See, people are always asking me what else to put into a
Yeah,
traditional,
no, it's true.
fabulous recipe.
I think the answer is respect tradition and you'll find true happiness.
Now the garlic goes where?
I'm gonna also mince it. It's gonna go inside with the onion, the fennel, and the
Oh,
pepper.
should I cut up a couple zucchini?
Yeah, zucchini now. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Jean would like to know, what is that wine dessert?
For that, if it's in the summer and you are eating al fresco, and I think a rosé wine will be wonderful because it's a typical
Rosé has
summer
taken
wine.
over the world.
And this is
Taken over.
yeah, no, it's true.
Watch the knife skills. This is something to aspire to. Watch this.
Well,
Watch.
you make sure you keep
Come
your
on.
finger inside a little
Yes.
bit, and you push with your thumb underneath. So if you keep your finger under and you push with your thumb underneath, you just do it like this and hold the knife. But I'm showing that I don't want to fuss it over. And if your piece of garlic is a little too big, don't worry. It's just gonna taste a little more flavorful when you bite in it once it's all cooked.
So good.
So it's a bit of a production, and it's gonna certainly mess up a couple of pots and pans. But it's the beauty of that dish.
But I think it makes a difference having them cooked separately. The
Oh,
flavors
very much.
remain with the vegetable and doesn't all become a mush.
That's right.
I had ratatouille the other day. It was so mushy, and yours does not look mushy at all.
Not at all.
So Mike would like to know, what types of eggplant are you using?
Sorry.
What type of eggplant are you using?
Oh, this
I'm using basic, regular eggplant. You could use also Japanese eggplant.
like-
No problem.
We have some over there, a long skinny one.
The long skinny
Which are
one,
very
or the
good.
purple one. They're delicious as
Or
well.
the violetta.
Yeah, some of them have a little bit less seed, but this one, because we're doing ratatouille in the middle of summer, the eggplants are perfect. They don't have like big fat seeds in it so
No.
much and all that. They're very fresh, very young.
Yep, and they're not
And-
tough.
Exactly. So a good amount of garlic.
So you don't salt them ahead of time or do any of that kind of
Oh, I
prep?
didn't have time for it.
Oh,
No.
but would you have?
Maybe, but yeah, you could. But it's okay. I think the little bitterness, and if you have a good stove, you can do that also in a non-stick pan for the eggplant,
Yeah.
because if you don't have enough heat under, they will stick to the pan. But you see here, I preheat the pan well before, so this way, are we good with the zucchini? Okay, I'm
Yeah,
coming.
we're good with the zucchini.
So
I'm just getting your tomatoes in one spot so you can
yes,
move these over. Oh,
and I'm gonna superb, perfect. And I'm gonna take that. Don't worry. course, at one point, I'm going to add up the seasoning. So as you see, the eggplants are chunky, but a bit uneven, but that's okay. That's part of the pleasure of having some vegetable, a little more.
In other words, he would not hire me to work the vegetable stage.
Well, if I'm going to charge you $100 for my ratatouille, for sure, I want that perfect cut in that perfect angle. But
my eggplant weren't so bad.
oh, they're beautiful. And really, to have the to really, you see, I'm going to add up a little bit more olive oil here.
Should I make the bouquet garni?
Yes, please do. That will be wonderful. So I have also, with the bouquet garni, I want to do a little
basil.
That bunch of basil. I kept the top leaves in the small leaves in the middle.
So
and you can put that whole bunch of basil fold in half like this.
Thank you. Right here.
Voila.
Okay.
And then we cut the edge if needed.
Okay. Tie it up.
Just so you know where people are watching from, we have Serena from Winnipeg, we have Lisa from Ohio, Sophie from Bali.
Bali, oh.
Bali?
From Bali.
Bali?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All
I'm going
over the
there.
world, Danielle.
We have Sandra watching from Croatia, Montreal,
I love it.
around the world.
I have a restaurant in Montreal.
And we have Manny watching from a deployment somewhere around the world, Marine Corps.
Ah.
Very nice. Well, I hope you can all find wonderful pepper and onion and zucchini and eggplant and tomato and make a wonderful ratatouille like Martha and I are doing right now.
Definitely. That's nice.
So here, the olive oil, extra. It's okay if there's too much olive oil in your ratatouille because once it's cooked, it will always come to the surface and you can always scoop it up and use it to make a salad with it because it has all these vegetable flavors. So bouquet garni, it's a classic French thing and often it has a bay leaf, it has sometimes parsley. Here I put basil in the bouquet garni and thyme, and that's a good basic, but you could put rosemary, you could put sage, you could put any other herbs. You see, now the eggplant are starting to caramelize a little bit.
So good.
And all this caramelization in the eggplant will really give flavor.
Yeah.
You're not making a cocktail today? Because I noticed that with David Chang, you made a cocktail, and I was like, God. And you know what I did? Is I was in Singapore, and I saw that. And I told my staff, I said, make me a cocktail like Martha. We're going to call it Martha's.
Oh, good.
We name it after you. And that was the one with the...
With the rhubarb?
No. Lychee.
Lychee martini.
Lychee martini.
So good, isn't it?
Yeah, so...
And you have fresh lychees in Singapore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so that's why I was saying this is the perfect land for that martini. So I give them the recipe.
Yeah, I'm just standing here watching.
And I give you credit.
But already, can you get the camera down really close here too? See the eggplant?
Yeah.
It's doing just
You
what
see
it's
that
supposed-
flavor here?
Yes.
It's all
Yes.
on the little dash of eggplant.
Yes.
And that roasted flavor is really going to give character to your
Yeah,
ratatouille.
so it's almost like grilling it, but you're doing it in a pan in olive oil. That looks great, and it's shiny, really beautiful. And then look how lovely the zucchini, even though they're...
and we're going to want them to color as
yeah,
well. I have a little
starting
bit of a
here.
low heat. I'm going to put them in the front
okay,
here.
right here.
Crank it up a little bit more.
Okay. And then in this pot, you can see very nicely the onion, the fennel,
Absolutely.
the pepper.
Yeah, c'est bon.
I just got some
Oh, yeah. Oh, no
over
problem.
here.
Well, you know.
So beautiful.
Actually, go back to the question.
And the garlic.
And in the Inside Harbor, one of the tomatoes, how do they get boiled before peeling? So what's the process of boiling?
So you boil enough water, and you don't have to put any salt in it.
Do you make an X in the bottom of the tomato?
Yes.
Yes, a little X right in the bottom. I'll show you this, so that the whole skin, it loosens without splitting all over the place. Just make a little X like
That
this.
helps you peeling after.
Yep, right like that.
And then, depends on the ripeness of the
Boiling
tomato,
water?
it's between 30 seconds and a minute
Right.
in the water.
And then you have a very simple
And then you put it into a chilled bowl. Attention.
ice water.
Of ice water, yeah.
Daniel has his apron, I do not.
So stay away from the saute. I'm your commie
Look
today.
at the color. Looks so great.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. So now I'm going to start to add a little bit of seasoning to everything.
Okay.
So I am seasoning the eggplant, and what's important is to season everything as the quantity it is. You don't want to season everything once it's all in one, because I think you have a better sense of seasoning when you do it, and also when the onion and the peppers and the fennel and all that has already sort of melt down a little bit. It's already like 1/3 melt, like that.
Starting to color. Look, you can just see on these little pieces of
Right,
brown. Oh, it's so
absolutely.
pretty, yeah.
So now I'm going to add also the pepper flakes. But the pepper flakes, I only add them into the onion and
Okay,
the pepper, like
Why?
that.
Why?
Why? Because I don't need to burn it into
Yeah.
this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a teaspoon or small teaspoon. We're doing a good quantity. This will serve.
Burning them would really make them more bitter.
Yeah,
right?
very much.
Yeah. And pepper?
And yeah. And now, yeah, a little bit, but I want to make sure and I see a little bit the eggplant. So now our eggplant are really getting perfect.
You know, about 500,000 people are going to watch this, and 500,000 people are going to be making Daniel's Ratatouille this
Yeah.
week or this weekend. Because
Which is
why not? It's so good.
Oh, and it's something you can do the day before easily,
Yep.
and you can reheat it, and it's as delicious. So let me put a little bit of pepper here too, and into the vegetable. As we love cracked fresh pepper like that.
So in Singapore, the poulet au vesi, is that the most popular dish there?
No, but I did that for a cooking demonstration. I had in front of like 200 people. They had a food festival called Epicurean Market, and 15 of the restaurants of the hotel. Everyone, we had basically a pop-up restaurant the size of your kitchen or bigger, and a back kitchen behind, and everybody was doing a small menu.
And so this special poulet is a whole chicken cooked in a pig's bladder, right?
Yes.
And it comes out looking like a big balloon, right? It all inflates when it's with the heat.
Very much.
And then you cut it and it puffs.
It's a
in all the air.
classic. It's a classic Lyonnais dish. I'm from Lyon,
Yeah.
and it's a classic Lyonnais dish. But what's interesting is, I mean, I have a cookbook called Daniel, My French Cuisine, and in that cookbook is the story about the poulard en vesi. It's not really the recipe because it's too complicated. You have to first find the pig bladder.
Yeah,
then you have
the
to
hard
smuggle
part.
the pig bladder to America.
Right.
And then you have to find the chicken, who is the poulet de Bresse, but it can be with another chicken here, of course. In Pennsylvania, we have wonderful.
We're making some good chickens now.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. So I am putting a little bit of tomato paste because I really want to. Not only the fresh tomato is wonderful in texture and in taste, but I think tomato paste give it a little more boost of tomato. So for that,
At the restaurant, you make your own tomato paste? Or
yeah,
yes, you
also
do.
yeah.
So a lot of people are asking about the recipe, so it is actually in the course, and you can find it on the website. Also, some of this
Excellent.
is in your vegetable book,
A version, not Danielle's version, but our version.
So when you put the tomato, well, I'm sure it's a good version too. When you put the tomato paste, what's very important is to really get it nicely melted like that. And really sort of wrapping up around the vegetables and cook a little bit before we put anything else in it. So you see, it already adds a little bit of a tomato flavor, color, and all that. Now we can add the eggplant to it. Oh, sorry, let me just 1 second. Take
Hot?
this one.
Are you getting
Slightly.
burned? Oh, I don't want you to get
No,
burned.
I'm good.
I need a holder.
So I am adding the egg. You could, if you had too much oil or you feel there's too much oil, then you could drain the eggplant. But I think here the oil is inside the eggplant and I'm happy with it. That's fine. So I'm putting all the eggplant in it. And you see, it has burned a little bit, but that's no big deal. That's good. It's flavor. And then we are adding up also the zucchini. We are starting to get some nice color as well. So now we are adding the tomato, Martha.
Yes, here you go.
And at this point, you just want to stir.
Can I tell you, it smells really good? Really.
Someone asked about the smell of it.
It's wonderful. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt because of the tomato we just had,
Yes.
and a little bit of fresh pepper inside.
Here's the pepper.
Thank you. That pepper
And
smells wonderful
Daniel
too.
prefers using the enamel cast iron
Oh,
for
that's,
this kind of casserole. It slow cooks, it doesn't burn.
I have a Martha Stewart enamel cast iron at home, and I use it all the time.
Good.
That's I'm telling you.
Available at Macy's.
Yeah, well, for me, it was available from Martha directly.
That was a present.
So I put the bouquet garni right in the middle like this, and you don't have to add any more
Liquid?
water,
No.
liquid, olive oil. All those vegetables gonna release wonderful liquid. Is that the fond? Yeah. Yeah. Attention. Yeah. Medium. And what I do just at the end is I put a little parchment paper.
Oh, show us. Yes, this is so good. Here's
Yeah.
the scissor for you.
You're gonna help me. Yeah.
Okay, he's going to make a little bonnet.
Oh, I don't even need scissors. You'll see.
Okay.
I go the old-fashioned way, and then we'll brush a little bit of olive oil over.
Oh, the brush is right on the counter here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
there.
that's right. So you take a piece of paper, which is the width of your pot at least, and then you fold it in four, like to just try to make
a
like
funnel.
like a little funnel. And then you measure the middle of your pot a little bit, so it's about that wide. So you cut a little bit above that,
Oh, so just do
and you just rip
by
the
hand.
paper.
Get the scissors.
And then you rip the tip also, so you have a little chimney. And now we have a paper with a hole.
That's so
Pretty
pretty.
simple. But it worked very well because what you want, and then Martha is adding olive oil. We're gonna brush that over so the paper will not burn down also, and it will really function very well as a lid. And you
So
want,
the inner lid, and keep the moisture in, right?
and I
let
cook
the
it always
steam
like
out,
that.
yeah.
Exactly. I don't even put a lid, but you can put a lid. It will do the same. But to me, this is a perfect where all the moisture go back in, but yet there is evaporation enough to keep freshness to your ratatouille.
Yeah.
Versus if you put a lid, it's going to get stewed to the point where it tastes a little too boiled in a way.
So that's good.
Voila. So now we have a little bit of steam coming out. So we're going to put that in the oven at 300 degrees, and you can let it bake. I rather bake it in an oven, top oven.
Oh, it has the other one.
Yeah.
We have a swap out in the top oven.
Yes, that's right.
And here's our pot holders here.
Yes,
Better
thank you
than
very
the
much.
pots.
Yes. And here,
So how long?
this one has cooked an hour. I mean, it could take an hour and a half. It's okay. I mean, you can go and
wow.
watch a movie and come back if you want. But so you see, the paper has all this flavor on it.
Yum.
Delicious. Here, Martha. Oh,
that's
perfect.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. And so you see how much moisture there is still left.
Oh yeah, and the vegetables are still identifiable.
Exactly.
And the color is still here, and you want to dig into that because
yeah.
wow, does that look good? Yummy.
That's really yummy.
So how do you serve it?
Okay, so now there's many options. You can roast a leg of lamb, and you roast a beautiful leg of lamb with all the herbs we use, the thyme, the rosemary, garlic, and onion, and then you can serve the ratatouille as a garnish on the side. But what I like with ratatouille is on Sunday, and we do that also at Boulud, is then we serve ratatouille with eggs. So in my home, especially we will like serve it with the roast first, and then maybe the leftovers serve it with eggs.
Ooh.
But you can also go with the eggs straight up.
But this should be
So
for
let me
breakfast.
just-
This should be for breakfast.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and this is fantastic. It's like you know, before they discovered huevo rancheros, there was
Ratatouille.
ratatouille.
Huevos, I know.
Oh, no, no.
Ratatouille.
Voilà, of ratatouille, which is a
Do you need
great
a bigger
classic.
spoon?
No, I think I'll be okay. So we put that in the, or maybe if you hold the spoon. No, no, no. I can hold the pots, and you help me. So
All right, I'll do it.
we're gonna do two versions.
Yeah.
So one of them is like this,
That's
and the
half.
other, voila, and then the other one here.
Mm.
Voila. Maybe a little bit more here.
Guess where one of these is going? One of these is going home with me for my supper. Oh,
That's beautiful like that. So you want sort of that moisture in it, and if you feel that it dry up a little too much, just add up water. Water is just perfect to just, or maybe the tomato water if
Yeah.
you have the tomato water. But here we have good moisture, so we are
Yeah.
good. And so the eggs. So maybe Martha, if you want to crack some eggs.
I'm trying to do that version.
You have a small ladle which is going to help make a little
we
cavity
need we need
into the
top.
ratatouille.
The bottom one.
What's better? Oh, okay.
We
So right in that little indentation.
Yeah, you make a little indentation with a tool, and then you put it right there. Voila. And then we do another one maybe here. How many eggs you want?
4.
4?
This is enough for 4 hungry people.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Voila.
These are eggs from my farm.
I love it. And they are very colorful.
Do you grow eggs here in the
Incha.
States?
Not yet, but hopefully I will. I'm always dreaming of a farm in the country. And my version, which is a little different, but it worked very, very well as well, both ways. So put a little bit of salt and pepper just to
Yes, on top,
season
yeah.
a little bit the eggs itself, like that. Voila. And a little bit of olive oil over. Just to
And so right in
keep
the
them
oven.
happy. And right in the
Like
oven like
400?
this. Yeah, and if your ratatouille is warm, of course you want to warm it up
But they've
before.
already started to cook.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
going to cook pretty fast, and you
Yeah.
just want to cook the egg white. You don't want to
Yeah.
cook the yolk, basically. But here, what I have, super. And here, what I have is eggs who have been poached for 4 minutes. So this is a good size eggs. If it was smaller, maybe 3.5 minutes. If it was bigger, it
Now,
will
is that
be.
sous vide or
No, not at all. No, no, no. You boil water, delicately you drop your eggs, and you count 4 minutes. Normally a hard-boiled egg is 10, so a 4 minute, then you chill it, and delicately you break the shell, and then you start to peel them delicately. So they are very, very,
It takes-
you can see it, and they are the yolk
Sometimes it takes 10 eggs to get
No.
4 eggs.
No.
Yes, it
is,
does.
I didn't break any.
Oh, I have tried this so
So,
many times.
same thing here, but we're gonna nest the eggs right here, and warm them up.
Salt and pepper on them too?
A little bit, yeah, absolutely, and a little bit of olive oil. Voila. And we're gonna warm them up with the ratatouille in the oven. So here, it's not about cooking the egg white because it's already cooked. It's about warming up the eggs only. So it could take 5 minutes, let's say, or 4 minutes, depends. But we're putting at 350 to 400 your oven, but it's better not too hot, and
Okay.
you watch it carefully because eggs, you cannot let it be
Right.
by themselves. So we have both eggs warming up, cooking.
Now you have
And
focaccia.
then I have a little bit of focaccia, some, we call that mouillette.
Okay.
Because with eggs, you always want something you can dip into the eggs,
into
pick
the
up
yolk,
the
yes.
pick up the juices and all that. So I'm going to toast a little bit the focaccia for a second in the oven, and that can be served also on the side with it. But it could be also any kind of bread where you can brush a little bit of olive oil
Okay, you
over.
want a little olive oil?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, super.
See, for Danielle, a little is medium raw.
Generous. You have to be generous with yourself.
Medium.
Voila.
Yeah. Ah,
So imagine if you have done that
Magnifique.
the day, if they do that the day before, it's such a relief the next day to just have to crack the eggs and
Yeah,
Lunch is
just
ready.
Well, look, we have something. We do have a cocktail. That
Oh, you're gonna make a cocktail?
Ah,
I'm
we will
impressed.
make a cocktail. Oh yes, a Negroni, but don't we have any Aperol? I like Aperol spritzers at this time of year. Don't you? Do you like Aperol spritzer?
Oh, I love Aperol.
See, that's
I
good.
love bitter.
So do I. I mean, there's
Anything
Campari.
bitter.
You like Campari? I like Aperol.
I like Campari, I like Aperol, I like
Okay.
Suze as well.
Okay, it's the digestif kind of drink, right?
Voilà.
So how much Campari? That
Léger.
Tell me, that much?
A little bit more. Perfect. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for Aperol for me.
Yeah. And then what else do you have?
Then we have.
No,
what
but
else do we
I
have?
just
Gin? No.
no, but I just stay on
Champagne?
Campari on ice with
Okay.
I see it and you have an orange. I'll put
Oh,
a little
yes.
piece of orange in it.
Oh, and look, we have nice big ice cubes for you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take.
Do you like a
the
little?
knife.
Do you like a little Perrier in it?
Yes, that will be perfect. Yeah, because Perrier has no sugar.
That's right.
And so it's very good.
And the.
A little wedge.
Oh yes, that's for
Me?
you. And I'd like a big wedge.
Yeah.
Pretty. I like it like that. And also, when you go to Restaurant Daniel, that's the. Is that the top of the empire, right?
The totem pole.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the temple.
the
temple
top of the
Daniel.
totem pole.
And,
the temple. Yeah.
Now, oh, good.
Oh,
Can
excellent.
you open that, please? And here's Aperol, which is Campari is made from what?
Campari, a lot of bitters and.
What's the fruit?
So, to tell you the truth, I have to read the recipe.
Do you know what the
again.
fruit is of Aperol?
No, tell me.
Rhubarb.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, yes, please.
Oh, I don't know the recipe of a Campari. I just
Oh,
love it.
I don't either. It's funny because I never
Oh.
drink it.
It's a blend for sure. It's a
I
blend
just
of
did it.
many things, including herbs.
Yes.
And I don't know how much fruit there is, as much as there is herbs and wine and.
Okay, now you could just add sparkling water, but you can have champagne with it too. Don't you want a little bit of sparkling wine in yours?
Sparkling? No, no, no.
No?
Perrier.
Perrier.
is
Okay, I want
perfect for me.
sparkling wine with mine.
Wow, that's cool.
That's yours.
Oh, so that Aperol and rosé.
You've earned this.
Oh, by the way, how is our eggs?
Oh, this is oh
Well,
my
yeah.
gosh, this is Danielle. Cuvée Danielle. But who's Danielle with an E-L-L-E?
I never met him, that one, but that's
That's a woman. That's a woman, I think. Oh,
well,
this,
close enough.
oh, this is not yours, but in honor of you, we're drinking Cuvée Danielle. So there's mine.
Cheers, Martha.
Cheers. Thank you very much. And
My pleasure.
And we're just waiting for. They'll probably come. They'll cook, right? This
2 seconds. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Hang on. No more questions? I cannot believe.
Tell me.
They were, actually, someone wanted to know about the ice cubes.
Ah,
Why did you get those ice cubes so big? I know we've showed that before. But
No, look, big square ice cubes, round ice cubes that are like balls that'll fit into your glass. Those are beautiful. In some restaurants, they hand ship them. At your restaurant, you have the machine, though. That,
we have a spare.
Yeah.
I mean, what I use also, I make round one, and you know what I use? I use water balloon.
oh,
And
yes.
we have a little water tab which is filtered water, and we use the little water balloon and then put just a quantity of water to make a round cube, and then tie it up the balloon,
Yeah,
put it in the
perfect.
freezer, and because the water will expand, the balloon will expand so it don't crack. And when you want to
So
just use
perfect.
it, you go underwater and you rub the balloon under the water and it breaks right away.
yeah. And makes the most beautiful, elegant cocktail.
So,
2 more minutes.
Yeah.
another Marcy, not myself, wants to know, what does ratatouille mean? What's the English translation?
Yeah, what
of
does ratatouille?
Ratatouille, I think it really means a vegetable stew, stewed vegetable.
We did some research, and
but,
ratatouille comes from a
Provençal word?
Provençal word meaning here it says from Occitan.
Yes, Occitan, voilà.
Yes, ratatouille.
Ratatouille. We come from Occitan cuisine. Related dish exist in many Mediterranean cuisine. So the name ratatouille is
It
the
did
dish.
not occur until 1930 in print. That name
Oh, so,
ratatouille.
so it's a very young name
Yeah.
for an old dish.
So Carla wants to know, did you salt every layer of the dish?
No.
Or do you salt at
No,
the
no.
end?
Well,
As he cooked, he salted each vegetable separately, bringing out the flavor.
you see, Eggs can take time. We have the oven at 400, and it will take maybe 8 minutes, yeah.
So Lisa wants to know, Chef, what is your favorite dish to cook?
Of course, ratatouille.
No.
No, but
What is your favorite?
I love to cook classic dishes, all classic dishes, something soulful, something who speak to me, but also speak to people maybe through their memory of childhood or memory of having that dish before. That's what I love, and that's why in my book, My French Cuisine, we talked about the poulard en vessie, but with Bill Buford, the famous writer, food writer and writer. I spent 5 years in France to study French cuisine, and he's going to have his book coming out next year on the state of French cuisine. I guess it's if the name didn't change, it's going to be Dirt. And dirt for the terroir.
Okay.
But also for the politics, a little bit in the kitchen. So anyway, but Bill wrote with me essay on every classic dishes I prepared. Dishes where I was inspired from the 1700 at the time of Carême, at the time of Escoffier, and all those great chefs in other centuries. And so.
And how they did it, who knows, right?
Yeah,
How
but
did they
there was
get
enough
ice?
information. Yeah.
Ice in the hot summer, they had it. They had no electricity, but they had ice.
Oh.
They had
Louis XIV knew how to get everything to himself.
Everything. Just an incredible, incredible time in history. And I wanted to point out, Danielle, the way we keep basil, and this is something interesting for all of you, and now that you want to use basil all the time in your salads, you put the stems of fresh cut basil in water, then you cover with a plastic bag and just leave it on your counter. It creates kind of a greenhouse atmosphere.
Greenhouse, totally.
And
absolutely.
it stays for a week. A week, so you don't.
Very good tip, Martha.
Yeah, and you put it in the icebox.
This is amazing.
A refrigerator. You put it in the refrigerator, and it turns black right away.
That's what I love about
Look how
you.
nice. That's
I mean, I love many
practical-
things about you.
Oh, do you?
But
Oh, how nice.
I love your tip in the kitchen too.
That's
This has
nice.
always been such a.
That's nice, but that really works for all of you out there.
And what do you do for avocado when they're not ripe? Do you leave them outside? Do you put them in brown bag? Or what do you-
I have them on my counter, and I cover them with a towel.
Yeah, a towel,
and,
yeah.
and on a dish, not touching each other.
Yeah.
And they ripen pretty quickly.
So my first is the pre.
Look how beautiful that
Yeah.
looks.
So we could add to that
Don't
a
you-
little bit of ciboulette, let's say. Huh?
Okay,
I love ciboulette.
which is chives.
And ciboulette and ratatouille is so
Green
French,
onion
the two
chops, yes.
together. So
Well, I
you
wanna see
always
how do you get
split
yours
the bunch
tiny?
together and you put
Tiny,
it together. And then if this knife cooperates, maybe this one is better because it has a little bit of a better form in the shape of the blade. So of course you want to keep your bunch into your finger. You have your 5 finger holding the bunch, and then you again give it a gauge here.
See how he's
in
rubbing
the
the
front.
knife right on his knuckle. And then you can get, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. And this smells so good. Look at that
Yeah, it's-
ciboulette.
So you know what you can do?
What?
You're gonna. I love to. Either you use a scissors or you use a knife.
Oh yeah, I wanted to
but
cut
you
the
cut
egg.
the eggs.
Yes,
huh?
I want to show you how the egg is soft inside. Yes.
Voila. Huh?
Just so you
So
can
it's nice to
see.
show them a little broken up like
Yes. So they
that. Just
know that they're
yeah,
soft.
Crack it a little bit.
Excellent.
Voila. You want them to be like that, yeah, a little bit runny, and running into the ratatouille. So now we sprinkle that.
So beautiful.
A lot of chive.
Mine are almost done. Bottom of it, preheating to 475. We could turn the broiler on for a second.
Of course, you could, yeah. You can finish them also with a broiler. It take actually, I've noticed, and it take a little longer for fresh eggs to, and if you put a cold eggs into the ratatouille, it will take even longer. It take another 3 minutes sometime. So 8 to 10 minutes with a little bit of patience. You just have to watch it a couple of times before.
Oh, save some of that for mine.
Yes.
So great.
That little cocktail was perfect afternoon.
Isn't it nice? Yeah, not too strong. That looks...
Voila. You see? So
It's getting there.
it's almost there, but you see, they're getting a little soft, and there's not much more it needs for being ready.
Well,
Cheers.
couldn't be a nicer way to spend an afternoon than with Daniel Boulud. We didn't even talk about all his amazing restaurants, but if you have the opportunity to visit 1 or 2 or 3 or up to 16 restaurants now?
No, but I don't want you to visit all of them in
Why
the
not?
same week.
No, not in
I
the
mean-
same week. Are you a participant in Restaurant Week?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
so
good.
right now we have it at DBGB, downtown. We have it at DB Bistro. We have it Upper West Side at Boulud Sud, Bar Boulud.
And the restaurants are packed, all of them. And you need a reservation, so please don't forget when you're dining with Danielle. But sometimes lucky, you go in and you can even sit at the bar.
That's what I was going to say. You know,
Yes.
in New York City, the best move is to go without reservation and try to just be patient if you can and say,
Drink a lot at the bar.
Voila.
You will ultimately
I
get
think
a
to me it's the
table.
best move. Reservation, it's a headache.
Order a
sometime.
big bottle of champagne and just sit there until they give you a table, right?
Absolutely.
I know the way. But this has been great. And Danielle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And so does our audience.
And the eggs are ready.
Oh, good. Yes.
Look
So,
at that. It's perfect.
I
like this.
love that too. And the beautiful, beautiful yolks are, oh, so great. Yep, look
Voila.
at those.
Just want them to be just slightly runny like
Yes.
that.
Oh, yeah. Oh. So I'm taking this one home.
It's gonna be perfect.
Yes, it'll be great for
You want,
dinner.
and so also because we put the basil inside the bouquet garni when we made the ratatouille.
Yeah, let's
then
make
you
a
can-
ribbon of, oh, that's right.
Exactly. So
Oh, pretty.
it's nice to just have
Gilding
a
the
little
lily, it's called. I think I'm going to put a little ciboulette
Yeah,
on
please.
mine.
Yeah, please do. Put some basil as well. And you can put it right by the eggs if you want to keep them company. Voila.
Merci
Bon appétit.
beaucoup. Yes. And au revoir. À bientôt.
Cheers. And
Goodbye,
enjoy
everybody. Watch, share with your friends, have fun making ratatouille. You'll enjoy it a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. That was super fun to cook with you, Martha.